This meeting
Happy
is being
Friday.
recorded.
Hello. Hey. Welcome, welcome. How are you coming on in here?
Good afternoon.
It's something to commit to yourself and to commit to this process. So I'm glad to see you. It's been really fun seeing what you're up to too in our group chat, seeing the actions that you're taking. So I just want to take a moment and a little shout out to those of you who have been doing the homework and kind of letting us kind of be part of your journey. So I thank you for that. If you would like to put in the chat how you're doing, give us that kind of scale of 1 to 10, how you are right now here in this moment. Feel free to pop that on in, scale of 1 to 10, how you are. I know Sandra started us off. Thank you so much. 7.5 question mark. You can have a range. You can have a mean, median, a mode. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm definitely feeling at a 10. It's Friday. I am with you. But wherever you are is also perfectly fine. Wherever you are, as we know, is always perfectly fine. So I'm going to give a shout out to our Sandra, who was already in for our Manifesting Mastery. So, yeah, I'm so happy to I'm super excited to continue this journey with you. Wonderful, wonderful. I see the connections we're making. Amy, you found Leslie Christine on OutSchool. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, she is a rock star over there. So I'm glad you're making those connections. Fantastic. Welcome, welcome. I see Claire is in the house. April's coming on in. We got Christine and Patricia. Marsha's over there. Jen is there. I see Amy. It's like a bigger version of the Brady Bunch. Squares. I got Ann O'Deal, Sandra and Leslie are here. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, they're coming in, giving us a little where you're at, scale of 1 to 10, where you are. If you would like to give that feeling a color, see what color is coming through, you can bring that color in as well. I know it is late for Patricia, so get some oxygen in there. Hello, hello. Oh, rainbow. There you go. I got my pink on today, so I've swayed towards that. Lavender, there you go. Slate, yeah. Mine's azul. Don't you love it when the kids are little too, and they're like, "I'll take cyan," you know? When they start to learn the different, like the nuances of colors, I love it. It's like all the paints, all the different paint colors. My husband, working in advertising, he had to name paints for Bear Paint at one point. He had to give them all names. I know, kind of interesting, right? When you get to be the person doing that. So we have a little moment here at the end of this call. Those of you who are in VIP can stay for your Q&A. So when we end this time together, VIPs can stay for the Q&A. You want to be a paint namer, right? I can see you moving into that. You can move into that zone. There's a moment, since we are kind of at day 5, if you do have a particular question right now, I want to take a moment for any of your questions now. So if you have something, throw it at us. We can start there. And I don't know if there's just some background noise or if, I don't think someone's asking a question. I think that's just in the background. So if you do have something, let me know. Oh, yeah, I love this. Let's hear this too. Your wins. Oh my gosh, you're so ahead of me, April. I feel like you're always in sync with me. Yeah, bring in your wins for the week too. We got a win for this week. Perhaps a moment of clarity or an action that you've taken. Not needing as much of a car repair. Heck yeah. Beautiful. I love that, April. We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take the unexpected funds, right? Beautiful manifestation. Ooh, you also got a slate, a cloud blue. Yeah, if you've got some wins for this week, pop them in. It's always a fun place to, there's nothing too small. I feel like getting out of bed, opening my eyes and breathing in a breath is a total win. So there's nothing too small. You got accepted. That's right. Hey, clicks for Leslie Christine. We can find you on Insight Timer now. I love it. I cannot wait to find you there. Very exciting. A client added. Beautiful, beautiful, Marsha. We'll take it. We will take it. Wonderful. Let's see what else we got. You scheduled remediation for your water damage. That is a win. We'll take it. We will take it. Just knowing you have it so you can move into more vibrant health is a total win, right? Yeah, exactly. And we've talked about this. We've been there, so we understand. Getting back on the flow of social media posting. Yeah, love it. Love to see what you're up to. Beautiful. Yeah, I had fun talking with you this morning too about what you're up to. I'm excited to see it all kind of come to fruition. Very fun. That's the thing, is that this is a beautiful, we've had these 5 days together. You all know each other now. I encourage you, if you are enjoying someone else's company here, to go and find them, sign up, see what they're up to. I know Leslie Christine has some great stuff coming around energy clearing space, opening up a book club. A bunch of you, Patricia has this amazing thing happening next week. So find each other. Claire, 3 women signed up for your soul energy. Heck yeah, did. I love it. I'm so excited for you. Fantastic. How do you feel? Does it feel so good? I can't hear you. Oh, I still can't hear you.
No, they're really excited. So I'm chuffed a bit, and they start next Friday. So that's great.
Wonderful. Yay. Super stoked. Love it. Very, very good to hear. I know they're beta testing, so you may already know this. Are you going to be getting like testimonies from them? Cannot hear you.
Sorry, my internet's a bit unstable. I didn't hear you.
Oh, I was just going to ask, just a little, like, maybe you already are aware of this. Are you planning to already get testimonies from them?
Yeah, that's I've got a fair energy exchange. So yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Very, very exciting. Wonderful. Very happy for you. Very cool. We've got Jennifer created homemade mayo that turned out perfectly. That's amazing. I bet that's delicious. 1 hour floating in the ocean today. Oh my gosh, totally priceless. So good, Christine. I hope that when my kids are 30, they want to go float in the ocean with me too. I'll take it. I'll take it as a win. Wonderful. I love it. I'm going to kind of bring this up now on the screen. Let's see where it is. Because, as we've been kind of going through this method here, right? In terms of quantum energy alignment, I do feel like having these celebrations, I feel amazing when I hear what you're celebrating. I know it probably releases some of these beautiful endorphins of connection, love. When we celebrate our wins, we're also getting like a dopamine hit. We are. So you can pick up our phone and scroll, or you can celebrate some wins. So that's kind of our quantum energy alignment. Wednesday, we went through our hypnosis. I've talked to some of you that had some significant impacts with that. It's interesting. Sometimes we can see impacts immediately, and sometimes we sort of see it over time, a little bit of a progression. Sometimes we realize an area to go deeper. We've been taking embodied action. I've been seeing that from you in the chat. And then I'm really excited today to go into some intuitive, I'd say like personal accountability. So I'm excited to kind of move into this. We did our reverse engineering yesterday. So as we kind of look at this, one thing that I notice is that when I go through things like this, or it's like I go to like a weekend thing, or I go to like an event. I'm like riding a high. I'm super excited, and then it's like after it ends, there can sort of be like this little bit of like a letdown reflex, so to speak. It's like, oh well, now what? So some of you are already, in the journey. You're getting weekly support. Some of you might be considering it. Some of you have already said yes. Wherever you're at, I completely support. And what I want to say is, in my experience, having these next steps, which we're going to kind of paint the picture today, is really helpful, because as we know, we can kind of go through these ebbs and flows. It's very natural. Like we get excited, we're on this high, something happens, we go down here, we have a question. To me, it's nice to have support, whether we are supporting ourselves or we have some sort of network, or you might be in the manifesting mastermind. with me. So that said, that's kind of what we're here to do, is to kind of help you move this forward in whatever way is most delightful for you. And the first place I want to go back to is this place of I am. So we did this, I think, the first or second day, stepping into belief. And I would love to have you just kind of flood our chat here, this chat section, with the I ams. I am. What's coming up for you here today? I am. I'm going to stop share so I can see too. Perhaps building on what we started with a couple days ago. What are you feeling? And there can be a little bit of both and. I can feel confident and scared. But we're kind of looking at the things which we know to be true. You know, we can always have those things we're working on, that or the rubber band thing, right? Where we're kind of shifting out of, and this is sort of like, this is what I know to be true. I believe this. Yeah, I love it. I'm focused, capable, moving forward. Yes, empowered, ready. Yeah, powerful, clear. All in all, yeah, I saw you were saying that before too, Patricia. Relaxed and happy, resourceful. Yes, this one. Exhausted. I hear you, Trisha. Exhausted and can we add something to that? Exhausted and this is something we used to talk about when I was working in wilderness therapy. I think this idea of, did somebody write this? Resilient? This idea of resiliency, you know? I think about when grateful, there you go. When my kid, my kids were really little and they wouldn't sleep, and I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna get through this next hour? Like, this is where we dig in deep, into this place of resilience. And maybe sometimes I am someone who asks for help. I can also be that person that asks for help. Focused, empowered, grateful. Yeah, beautiful. Love it. Love it. We can be both and. Strong. Yes. Thank you. Beautiful. Yeah, keep them coming. I wanted to kind of start there with that baseline. Whoops. There we go. And with that, I want to bring us back also to spiritual levels of consciousness, business, whatever we want to call it, right? Life, where, we can have these moments where we dip into the lowest place, right? The fear place. We're thinking about ourselves. We may feel like we're in comparison mode, or I don't know if I can do it, judging ourselves. Maybe we're feeling judgment from outside. I think it's normal to dip into this place. I think it's a great place to recognize, to look at it, to be honest about it, and to understand that we don't have to stay there. It doesn't have to be a static state, right? It's this idea, our kids in school, they learn growth mindset. I'm not a water bottle. I'm not just one thing. I'm not static. I can shift. And so notice what it might be for you that helps move you back into your mission. That's what we're going to do today. Move you back into this place where it's not just about one thing, right? It's about the overall arc of time. It's about being in your mission. It's about being in this place that can be joyful. I can be exhausted and I can be joyful. I can be really annoyed today and I can be loving. We can be both and, stepping into that place of essence, letting that flow through you. So as you move forward, and let's say you hit a snag, something doesn't go through, it's okay, it's normal. It doesn't have to blow the whole thing, right? Because we know we are in the essence of, right? We are resilient. We're in the I am. What's next? Let's see. How do I pivot? So today we're going to go into this intuitive, like sort of radical accountability. And what I want to start us off with is an intuitive practice. I'm going to probably have you stand up for this, of making decisions. So, I talk sometimes about decision making, and we can have sort of like leaky energy. We're leaking our energy out towards all this stuff happening. You got mold. We've got something going on with maybe your aging mother. You've got some other concern going on. Well, what about this? What about that? We're leaking energy. What are we actually doing? I'm worried about this. How is that going to happen? I want this. Leak, 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 leak. What is happening? Energetically, emotionally, physically? Just picture that your energy, it's exhausting. When I'm leaking all this energy out, right? but I'm not actually doing anything about it in that moment. Maybe I think I'm doing something because my brain is doing something, but in actuality, I'm exhausting myself. Maybe I have more cortisol going through my body. Maybe my shoulders are up really tight. But what am I in the doing of? What action am I taking, right? So if you find yourself in this place, is this, yeah, I was going to just ask that, right, Marcia? Is this relating to anyone? Can I relate? Jenna, see you nodding, Christine. Yeah, I'm bringing it up because it's like, what, it's kind of what we do, right? So, well, when that happens, Trisha, I see you. When that happens, how can I pivot? Just like we did with like touching the necklace, shift. Oh my gosh, leaky energy. Thank you so much for showing up. So I can make a decision. I can make one decision right now. What decision am I going to make? And the energy of decisions, we're going to go through a very quick process to make a decision. Am I going to stay in the energy of, well, someday, and I don't know, and is it the right timing? And well, life will just make the decisions for me, and 2 years go by, and wait, I said I was going to do that, but what have I done? Right? Or I'm going to just kind of go in this circle. To get out of that circle of exhausting, leaky energy, we're going to go into our intuition. Our intuition, where I'll bet there are times when you were like, oh, I know. Whether you acted on it or not, I'll bet there are moments where you're like, I know this is the right thing. I remember that story I told you when I hit black ice and I was on that phone arguing with the boyfriend at the time. And I heard the voice say, you can go back. It's pointing me in the direction from which I came, from Utah, pointing me there. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to listen to you, voice. That intuition was definitely there. Did I listen? No, but I'm aware of that, right? It's that same voice. You just feel like, you know what? I just need to take one more breath at the stoplight before I go. And sure enough, some car comes barreling through and you're like, whoa, I'm so glad I did that, right? So I think we can all kind of identify those times we might feel on the spectrum of intuition, like maybe let us know, scale of 1, 2 to 3, where do you feel like you're at right now listening to your intuition? Are you feeling more like, you know, I'm really up here and just trying to figure it out? Or do you feel like a 3 would be like, I am listening to my intuition. It doesn't always make sense, but I'm letting myself be guided by it. I'm trusting. Do you feel like you're kind of in the middle, like a 2, or do you feel like you're at a 1? You're like, you know what? I just do not feel like I am BFFs with my intuition right now. I'm kind of like, I realize I've gotten, yeah, it's just an observation, right? We are just an observation. Exactly. Yeah. And this is something in Ideal we're going to do a bit more in our manifesting group too. So you're in the middle listening to your intuition. Sometimes you second guess it. Yeah, right. We're just kind of relating. There you are, April, at 3+, beautiful. Yeah, okay, yeah, thank you. The values of the scale, 1 is like, ugh, I am not BFFs with my intuition. 3 is like, oh, I'm spot on. I listen to her. We're besties. She guides me in the right way. So 3 is like a very high. 1 is like, eh. There you go. 2.7. I love it. It's very precise. Very precise. We got to get that 0.3 up there, right? So let's do a cool thing called the sway test, shall we? Yeah. So sorry, I can't keep going back and forth so I can see all of you. I recommend, is there anyone who can't stand up right now? I mean, not that you're unable to, but maybe space-wise, it's hard to. I like to do this standing up. If you can't, I want to give you a second option. So I'm just asking if you can't stand up for some reason. Okay. Well, Trisha, you could probably do this while you're walking. If you like stop for a minute while you're walking, you can play with this. Okay. I love it. I love that you're getting your walk in while you're listening to this. It's great. So, but everyone else can stand. Is that right? Okay, great. If you can't, just let me know. So, what we're going to do, well, let's just do it. Let's stand up. Okay. Oh, I'm so busted. It's okay. I kind of match. I'm wearing like some really fun leggings right now because I'm on Zoom. I wasn't really thinking about it. I love these. They're like my fun desert leggings. So, with my fancy top. Okay. This is what we do on Zoom, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to use our bodies as sort of like a pendulum. We're going to use our physical selves to tap into our intuition around questions. We're going to start with a question that doesn't matter that much. We're going to move into a question that has greater import for you, okay? So typically when we are into something, we're a go for it, we're going to move forward. Like yesterday, I was kind of joking about Crocs and sardines. So maybe you use something like that, right? We're going to start with something that's a truth for you, right? So a truth is like very simple. My name is, this is what people call me, right? This is what people call me. People call me this. This is my name, right? So the first thing I want you to do is just to kind of ask your body, show me when I'm a yes. I love this. I want this. I'm a yes. What happens? Maybe you tend to move towards it. Show me, body, which way am I going to move for a yes? Show me a no. I do not want this. This is not for me. I don't like it. Show me a no. Maybe I back away. I tend to move back, right? It's pretty typical. If you're not sure, you might get some kind of wonky back and forth, right? So now try, my name is, this is my name is. You can ask it like a question, is my name? Body, show me. Show me. And then ask a lie. Tell a lie. Is my name Bob? Is that my name? Is my name Bob? People call me Bob. Is that true? Body, show me. Is that true? Is that true? Okay, so before we move on, just give me a thumbs up if you felt that, if it worked for you. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't feel it. Okay, I think I see. Okay, got one. It's okay. So we're gonna keep going, and then we'll check in. All right. So I got you. Okay, a little more practice here. So we're gonna try something that is something that you might eat that you don't feel guilty about. Amy, it might be sardines for you. It might be for me. I love olives. I don't feel guilty about olives, so I will use that. You can use something that you love and you don't feel guilty about. Thank you, April. Gotcha. Okay. So would I love some olives? I just adore eating them. They're super yummy. I like them. Body, show me if that's something that I enjoy. Is that a yes? Do I like those? And then play with something that you do not want to put in your mouth. For me, it would be sardines. So sorry. So would I love a big plate of sardines right now? Like, oh, just a huge plate, just give it to me. Smell them, eat them. Do I want those? Would I love that? Would that be great right now? So body is like moving away. So show me thumbs up, thumbs down, where you're at with that one. It did not work for Sandra. It did work for Amy. Okay. So some of the questions we're seeing are coming through very clearly, and some of the questions maybe, not as clear. So this is just an experiment, right? The more you practice, like with intuition, the more you're going to get the clarity each time. April's a thumbs up. Okay. So now, just for the sake of time, we're going to do our next one around a question that is a little more important to you. Like back in that time I was talking about to you, I would have said, and you're going to ask it like this: is it in my highest good? Is it in my best interest? Is it in my highest good too? And think of something you might want to do today. Think of something that you're looking to do maybe this coming week. I know for me, if I had asked myself, is it in my highest good to stay in this relationship? I probably would have moved backwards. Are you supposed to be barefoot? No, but having flat shoes is helpful because we're swaying. And the more connected you are to the earth, of course, it's always helpful, I think. I think it's always helpful to be barefoot. So, but you might get a stronger movement if you are. If you had heels on, I didn't think anybody would right now, but it probably won't work that well for you. So think of a question that has more importance to you, maybe something you've been kind of rolling around in your mind, circling around, maybe something to do today. Is it in my highest good too? Okay, everyone have a question? Yes, thumbs up. We're good? Okay, so is it in my highest good? If you got a solid answer, I invite you to sit down. If you did not get a full answer, you can shift it to, is it in my best interest? You might also bring a little nuance to it. Like if you're being a little bit broad, like someone I worked with was deciding whether or not to go back home for the holidays. And she was asking, is it in my highest interest to see my family for the holidays? She got wonky energy. So I had the sense that it was maybe about like her father, which it was. And so she then asked herself, is it in my highest good to see my father over the holidays? And that answer was no. So when she got that nuanced answer, it was too broad to go family. She had to bring it down, right? So if you're still standing, it's okay. We can come on back, because this is just an experiment. This is the kind of thing when, we go deeper together, we can just get a little bit more nuanced with, we get more expert with, because we're just practicing it more. So if you got it on the first try, great. And if you didn't, okay, awesome, April, thank you. So we can be really, so Trish, you ask a great question. You didn't like the answer. Oh, I know that feeling. So, my thought is, yes. So Trisha, my suggestion would be, and I am going to send you a couple things. I think I told you I would. I think I told you it was you, that can help you to be more in your heart, more with your intuition, and less in the analytical mind. So I really do feel like the more we practice it, like some people that have been working with me for a while, at the beginning, it was very hard for them to be in their intuition, and now they're right there. When we're in group together, they're right there. So yeah, there's two things I'm going to send out to everyone. One is this vision casting thing. We're going to do a little bit of it today. And the other thing is channel writing. So I'll send that to you too. Okay, do this. You realize you might actually be listening to your intuition much more than you realize, because you use muscle testing and everything. Yeah, exactly. That's what I figured for you, Leslie, because you do this like all the time. It could be, you don't like the answer. I get it. This is where if you channel write about that, which you'll get how to do that, I won't go into it now. It can help you understand what you're really needing, right? And yeah, the more we practice it, the more we recognize where we're sensing our intuition, right? So we're less in our heads and more like, oh, there you are. I can trust you. I know when I first started this, I wasn't trusting any of it. So yeah, this is why we're doing this, because we can tend to overthink. It's really common, right? It's why I wrote this whole thing over here. It's also why we're being really leaky. Some of these decisions we actually do know. We may not know the how, and that's what stops us. We might not like what it means for us in that moment. Like I did not like what it meant for me to leave that relationship at the time, even though as I look back, I am so incredibly grateful. When something ended, how great things became, how something so painful became so amazing. But if I had stayed in my intuitive brain, well, you have to stay in Kentucky and you have to just get a job here. You already live here. It doesn't make any sense to go to California. How could you just go and not have, see what I mean? It's like so much energy. But when I ask myself, do I really want to stay? And it's like, no. Okay, well, now I know. And if we don't know the how, that's where channel writing can be helpful. All right, sound good? Any questions about that? Any other thoughts about that? Thank you. I know, thank you, Leslie. I know we're kind of going through some of this quickly, but I appreciate that. So if we don't have any other questions about that right now, we're going to move into some manifesting. So when we talk about manifesting, we kind of come back to these laws of the universe, how we are working with the laws of the universe. And really what we're looking at today is this law of inspired action. Say yes to inspired action, trust, follow your intuition. And then also this law of gender, balancing the masculine energy of action with the feminine of receiving. I know sometimes I feel like I get a little bit into the masculine of action. It's like I have to make it happen, right? Versus like that feminine of just sitting back, letting it come to us, attracting, receiving, a little bit of the balance of the two. When I know I'm in inspired action, I'm not putting myself into over action, like overcompensation, right? So that said, if we come back to what we did, I think the first or second day, right? We take a look at, we did this for, who did we do this for? Sharon? I think it was with Sharon. Yeah. And maybe you did this for yourself too. You did one of these charts for yourself. Did everyone do this? Yeah, nodding. This is kind of looking at, you know, where are you headed, your target, what it means to you. So for this person that I did this for, you know, what her target was for her, right, in her soul business, really leads to her having freedom of movement, exploration, peace, helping people, being a digital nomad. And that really is priceless. We took a look at, like, well, the trigger, like, why now, right? Because she didn't want to keep hustling for others. The time felt like it was now. She didn't want to go back to corporate BS. She's a client of mine who's a hypnotherapist. She wants to have a legacy, right? There's sort of this feeling of this burden of if she had to go back to corporate. We went over for her being a hypnotherapist, what she had tried, the things that maybe weren't working so well, and then the things that were working for her. So we can kind of lean in even more to that. And I'm happy to say that she's just started and she's already gotten her first high ticket clients and some corporate clients too. So it's working. And then also looking at, you know, this idea of inspired action. What is the toll of not doing it? What is the toll of not taking the inspired action? Like in her situation, when she looked at how many years, you know, it's been that she's been thinking about quitting corporate, which she finally did. This is, you know, the difference in what she could have made, what she could have had. So I think it's helpful sometimes to kind of like break it down and see it. So we're looking at this so that we can kind of elevate into this place of like, when I take inspired action, why? This is the one I want to look at. If you can see me pointing at this, the freedom of movement, the exploration, the peace. When you think of why you're sitting here in this big picture thing that you desire, I would love for you to write it in your notebook, write it in the chat. Your big why. Why am I taking this inspired action? What's my big picture thing that I really want? Is it this freedom of movement, exploration, peace? I'm helping people. I live my life as a digital nomad. What is it for you? And you can feel free to pop it in the chat too, so we can see it too. Like, why would I do this? Why would I keep going? If I do hit a little snag or I feel uninspired on Monday, why would I keep it up? Why would I continue? Yeah, beautiful, Patricia. Yeah, joy, living your life purpose, feel aligned with life purpose. Yes. Content and at peace. Yes. Why isn't to enjoy life? Yeah, let's say I have a moment of distrust. I mean, look, that was like us moving into this house, like I mentioned to you, it was a lot of trust moving in here. And literally everything that we desired happened because I'm so glad we leaned into that trust. I'm so glad we said yes to this. To their clients, friends, and family, joy. Yes, April, beautiful. Remove anxiety over the financial future. Yes, exactly. This is where when you lean into, this is my path. I am just like I leaned into it with this weight test. I am stepping into this. I am choosing this. It's just like I said when I decided to go into the Peace Corps. I am doing this. This is literally what's happening. This is what I'm choosing. Yeah, for the sake of what? This is the question. Let me put this in here. For the sake of what? That's kind of that last block there. For the sake of what? Just like you were writing in there. I love that question. For the sake of what? Why the heck would I do this? I could just go do something else. It'd be maybe more boring or soul sucking, but maybe it'd be easier. For the sake of what? Right? And then look at the trigger. Like, well, why now? Why the heck do this now? Why not just put it on the back burner? You know, it's not the right time. I'm busy. I got stuff going on. Okay, well, when is it not? You know, I feel like there's always something else. There's always a car needs to get repaired. There's always kids need to do this, do that. Why, if I wait, how does that benefit me? Maybe it does, right? But if I wait, how does it benefit me? What am I losing in the process? So this trigger space, why now? And you're welcome to put that in the chat too. Like, why now? Why am I choosing this now? Yeah, to change how people see the world. Yes. In April, I know just from talking to Sandra, I know Sandra has a very similar vision in a different way, but you know, similar. I mean, I talked to you, Leslie, Christine. I know that I see that in you, Jennifer. I see that with you. Clock is ticking. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Exactly. The sooner I start, the sooner I will get results, because it's how it works. So with that, and you can feel free to keep posting these in here, help others reconnect with their soul passion and purpose. Yes. And my sense is that that is channeling through you. That is flowing through you. That is something greater than you. You are tapping into, if we go back to this, you're tapping into this place of unconditional love. This is a place of essence. You are leaning into it. You are in this place of law of gender. You are receiving support around it. You are taking action towards it because it is channeling through you. And it takes me to, you know, when I was working with Jen on this, looking at why sometimes I think there's this idea of like, maybe you don't feel like this, but you know, if I make more money, I'm blocking myself from it because of past beliefs, right? Like if she's going from 5K a month to more, you know, leaning in towards 30K, hey, 100K a month, right? The past belief that keeps her from those months is, well, it's greedy, or who am I to do that, right? But when she leans into this place, I'm going to go back to this, of essence, right? Of money gets to flow through me, and in doing so, benefits others in their soul passion and purpose, benefits others in how people see the world, benefits young people, benefits people to see that joy is an inside job. For me and my family to have a beautiful financial future, then I'm going to lean into it. I'm going to lean into it, right? I'm going to lean into the action so that money in my hands creates even greater good. I am the right person with the right tools to help someone heal. I listen, I care. And one way that I feel it can be really helpful to do this, right, to move the dial forward after today, how am I doing this, is through this sort of accountability. And little statistic here for those of us who like statistics is that our chances of completing a goal, they increase 65% if we tell someone else about our commitment to it, which we're going to do something like that here right now. And those odds are raised 95% if you have a specific meeting with your accountability partner. So that's why I host a mastermind. That's why I encourage you to find someone in your life, whether it's in this group or it is someone else you know, let them know. Be specific, which again, that's what we're moving into. Be specific, because the more specific we are, the more we're going to meet it. It's kind of like doing, hold on, let me pull this out. I've got like so many of these books. They're having this sale, so I got like a bunch for, they're just giving them out for free basically. So manifesting. So Project 369, right? We're gonna be doing this in the mastermind here very soon in a couple of weeks. So I just want to share with you, I did this around the week between Christmas and New Year's, around a certain amount of money to make in my business. And I made that. And the funny thing is that we also got a random check come in. but I didn't count it. I was like, I'm not counting that. It doesn't count. So we manifested the money, but I was like, you know how we can be like that, right? But I was like, well, what if I had raised my ceiling on that number? Would I have hit that number instead? I was like, I'm just making my own ceiling here. See what I mean? So when you are creating this accountability for yourself and looking at what you are putting in place for yourself, I would suggest to put it this and, right? This and your stretch number. Well, I could hit this and what's my stretch number? What's a number that stretches me that I could also hit? So I'm just saying that from personal experience because I feel like when I set that specific goal, maybe I limited myself too. Could I have stretched that goal a little bit? So what we're going to do here is some radical accountability around something we call our commitment to ourselves, which we did earlier this week, and then doing something that we call vision casting. So the commitment to self is, I'm going to see, okay, is the commitment to self sounds like this. It's pretty simple. It's, I am a commitment to. I am, it's like we did earlier. It might sound the same as you did earlier this week. It might sound different. I am a commitment to. And this can tend to be something it's for you. And it's like an umbrella. It's kind of like a broad thing under which other things fall. I am a commitment to thriving. I am a commitment to my happiness. I am a commitment to my work in the world. I am a commitment to my integrity. I do what I say I'm going to do. I am a commitment to, and I'd love to see that in the chat. I am a commitment to. I'm going to stop sharing for a sec so I can see the chat. There it is. Yeah, this or something better. That's right. Patricia, you probably have to send it a little farther than they did for me. So mine arrived pretty quickly, but you have to let me know when you get yours. I got like the whole bundle. If you do want to buy them, I have a discount code. So yeah, exactly. So I am a commitment to consistently taking one step at a time. Yes, beautiful. I am a commitment to spending some time this weekend doing research within my resources to figure out my plan. So I am a commitment to following an aligned plan. I am a commitment to creating an aligned plan. Do you see what I mean? So for you, Anodiel, that's going to be kind of a subset of something greater, right? What is the greater mission towards that? And then this will kind of come underneath it. Spreading joy, kindness, and authenticity. I love it. Beautiful. And a commitment to thriving. I know, I love that one. That's a good one. Stepping out of my comfort zone. Yeah, going back to more consistently to the gym. So what I would say, that's going to be an action underneath. I am a commitment to something like my vibrant health. I am a commitment to, right? So that would be kind of the umbrella under which, yeah, you might have gym, you might have the way you eat, you might have this people you talk to. I am a commitment to finishing things. There you go. Funny. I just imagine you with all the tabs open. That's like me. All the tabs open. Yeah, it's a good 10. Yeah. My daughter, she gets so annoyed. She sees all my tabs open. She's like, what are you doing? I'm a commitment to being visible. Yes, that's beautiful. I love it. I love it. So take note. Imagine, right? It's Friday, we got the weekend. Maybe you're doing these things over the weekend. Monday rolls around. And take note what actions are now happening within your week that are supporting this commitment. And I'm happy to see those in the group chat too. What actions are happening this coming week that support your commitment to yourself? It might be if I'm a commitment to finishing things, but I am like hating it, I might actually go hula hoop for 10 minutes in between doing my stuff. So I'm actually going to bake in some fun in between the tasks I have to get done, you know? So like a little hack for myself, like I need a fun hack. Yeah, productivity, lots of that, creativity. daily checklists. There you go. So we're going to kind of morph this into what I think is a really cool practice around daily checklists that help us to get that dopamine hit when we go to the end of the day and we can look at what we stated we were going to do in our day, and we can notice, like, well, what did I do? What did I not do? We get that dopamine hit when we see these accomplishments, these little wins along the way, right? Yeah, I see you nodding. And that stacks upon itself such that we feel good about doing it again tomorrow. It's like, I tell you, Orange Theory is a very smart company. They understand human psychology. I joined a challenge so I could go work out for 4 days this week so I can get a shirt. That's my, hey, I got a t-shirt? Okay. I did a cold plunge so I could get a bracelet. Oh, come on, Amy. It was so good. So we're all motivated by different things. It's looking at what's my motivation. When I celebrate with my win, what could I do to treat myself? Could I go chat with a friend? Could I see if we can kind of bake in our wins? Cold plunge only for precious jewels. You're so funny. So yeah, I mean, take a look at, like, hey, what motivates you? I did not realize I was so motivated by things like t-shirts. So now we're going to do kind of like what Amy said is, I would love for you to take a look at a coming day this week. Maybe it's literally the rest of the day today. Maybe it is Monday. I would love for you to write out your daily tasks. And I can even do this. No, I think it's okay. Yeah, so write out your daily tasks. Like, what do you wish to accomplish? Like I said, you could even include some self-care, right? Because what's happening is that, maybe you are someone, you have a full-time job and you're looking to shift into your soul work. Maybe you have like multiple things going on, juggling kids, or juggling this or that or the other thing. This is where sometimes the things that really matter, they get put by the sidelines, right? So, we say we want to go do some yoga, but then it's like, I got to do this, I got to do that. It's not going to happen. So it might be like 6 a.m. I know it's early, it's ridiculous. Get kids out to school. And then what's even going on Monday? You might have something that you're working, like there's in your business and on your business, right? So I'm working on my business. Maybe it's like I 8 to 9 work on my website, right? Work on my course. If I'm working in my business, I'm probably doing some income generating activity. So maybe there's something that helps me generate income. 9 to 12, whatever, 11, connect with clients, referrals, there might be something like that, right? So I'm making sure I'm getting that in there. And then I might have lunch. Why not? We'll throw that in. But maybe I want to meditate. Oh, okay, I can do that at 11. Yeah, I've got time. Maybe I want some time where I don't have anything planned because I'm a Cancer and I'm a water sign and I hate to be fully planned all day. So it's whatever. Who cares? Do whatever I want. Hey, let's make it till 3, And then for me, like 3 kids home. So, so you don't have to put like everything, but what am I missing? What did I say I wanted to do? What am I missing? Am I avoiding something here? Right? If I am, I can go back to my, rapid release practices. Am I afraid of something? Am I afraid? I mean, I want to go live. Maybe I want to go live, right? Kind of with your friends. I'm so afraid to go live. People are gonna laugh at me, right? Okay. Well, what can I do to, if I know this, then I know rather than hold on to that, I could get hypnosis, energy release, right? Tapping. I can do something to help. I know that there's something for me to kind of like dive into here. See what I mean? because I have this method we've talked about. Oh, I know what I can do with that. I know that I'm putting some stuff in here for self-care. See what I mean? So with that, what we're going to do is to vision cast this. We're going to take, you can choose every single thing if you want, but you're going to take maybe what you consider to be like the most important of these tasks and write them in this vision casting method. So it's going to look like this. You're going to write it in the present tense with the desired state, right? The desired emotional state. So I gave this as an example. 8:30, I go and I work out. I clear my, this is how I would write it. I clear my head, feel so strong in my body during my workout. So that is my desired state. There are times I go to Orange Theory and for some reason, for some god awful reason, we are doing a gajillion thousand squats. And I am like, I would love to be anywhere else but here right now. But if I vision cast for it and I say, I clear my head and feel so strong in my body during my workout, I can focus on strength versus get me out of here before I have to do another squat. While I'm in there, my mental state can be in that positive state. I feel so strong. Let's say I put in here client session. I'm so grateful to be intuitively guided to co-create with my client for her highest good. 2 p.m. I put prep a workshop. I enjoy receiving downloads from source to guide this journey for, again, you know, it's repetitive, for the highest good, for, you know, amazing results, impact, you know, whatever. So this is a chance. If you don't really get this, there's no wrong questions here. I would love for this to really land for you and make sense. So please feel free to ask a question. We're all in a row, so I can't see everyone. So if you just go off mute, you can even do this. When I first learned this, I was like eating terrible stuff for lunch. I was like eating my kids' goldfish crackers and like salt and vinegar chips, right? Not good. So I was like, oh my gosh, I am barely eating a good lunch. So I'd even put that in there. I eat a healthy, vibrant, colorful lunch that fuels my body the rest of the day. I also realized I was barely drinking any water. So I was drinking coffee all day. So it helped me in doing this to catch other things that relate back to my commitment to myself. Well, I'm a commitment to thriving. Is drinking coffee all day helping me thrive? I started to realize like, oh my gosh, I could add in, I drink water throughout the day and I feel so much more alive and energized. And as you write these, I'd love to have you just write, just for the sake of discussion and sharing, write one of these into the chat for us. So yeah, we're getting pretty specific. It's specific like what day, what time, what's the specific action? So now when you get to Monday, when you get to Tuesday, we're not just like, oh my God, what am I doing? How am I getting to my goal? What's happening? So we get back to the energetic of decisions. I already know. I know I've got free time baked in. I know what I'm working on. If I have a question I don't have an answer to, I can just pop that in there. Investigate. Beautiful. Yes. Yeah, vision cast for that too, Sandra. Like, what did you write for this part on the right? Maybe like I feel so centered and connected with, spirit and God through my prayer. I feel ready for the day. So it becomes not just this like list of tasks, it's an embodiment, right? Always relating back to that big picture. Okay, I'm going to stop share for a moment because I keep losing the chat box. There we go. Yeah, so when you have something, feel free to pop that in there. So this is a way, you know, whether you are sharing this with someone else or for yourself, to create some of your own radical accountability. And what I noticed when I started to do this is that, just like with hypnosis, I was almost like pre-programming myself for that moment. So when I learned this, it's from a corporate coach. I started to implement it. It was during COVID. My kids were at home and my daughter was fine. She was in 4th grade. She could have been in college, no big deal. My son, not so much. He was in 1st grade and it was really, really hard, like super hard. And so I was getting annoyed, like trying to do my own work and not having really a lot of free time at all, and having going in, trying to help him, not really knowing what to do, not feeling like I had a lot of resources, right? So a lot of negative here, right? So I would reframe. I'd write down in the morning. I would do this. It took me maybe 5 minutes. And I would write, when Enzo needs me, I am present and available for him during his homeschooling. So sure enough, that day he calls for me once, twice, 3rd, 4th time, 6th time, I'm like feeling it. I am not feeling good about it. And I caught myself walking into his room feeling annoyed, and I just told myself, it clicked in. It was like, hey, you said you were going to be present and available. What are you doing? I feel like it immediately changed my energy state, and I went in a completely different energetic state. And I tell you, I kid you not, like from that moment forward, our dynamic was completely different, and it went much better. And I think because he also saw me relax, like he knew that he had someone he could rely on, and so he needed less reliance because he knew he had that reliance, if you know what I mean. So I saw a huge difference, and I've seen that in other ways. We're gonna have like a super busy day, like super early morning, bunch of different things going on. There's way less energy leaks when I do this, because it's not just the task, it's the energetic state that I'm bringing to it. All right, beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. And so I am grateful for my body and listening to it. Yes. Look at this. These are great. Move my body in the water while listening to my favorite podcasts. And yeah, and I really recommend when you're doing this to write, well, how do I feel? I move my body fluidly in the water. Like I could move my body and feel all like cramped and restricted and like, or I could be like, oh my gosh, it's so lovely. I love the fueling. I'm grateful. Yes. I'm proud of my body, excited to watch it change. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Expansion, growth, and inspiration. Yeah, exactly. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. And so when you write this out, April, I would also write it. I'll just go back to this. Maybe you did, but if you look at the right-hand side, it's like a little bit more of like a story, like paint the picture, you know, like I clear my head and feel so strong. I'm so grateful to be intuitively guided, right? As you look at it, what experience is it? Because you're sort of pre-programming yourself for that experience. And I've had clients who are going into even like a big meeting for funding, and feeling nervous about going in, like a woman going in, all these guys, and so for her to rewrite that story and just say, like, I am an empowered owner of this business. I am right. I am not only worthy, I'm capable. Like, it's just the night and day energy going into that meeting, and she did acquire the funding. They did invest. And Patricia, I see you holding up a book there called Segment Intending Workbook. Manifesting and co-creating technique. Oh, okay. Is that similar to what we just did, or is that something different?
It looks like it's more precise, and it is from the book, the Abraham Hicks book, which
Abraham,
is
yeah.
Ask and you receive.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Ask and you receive. Okay. Thank you. Beautiful. I love these resources. Thank you.
So it is a workbook. It is an empty book. You see.
Yeah.
You
I see.
just
Yeah.
have
Get to
to
write in
fill
it. It's the best feeling. You have to pop that into our chat too, if you will. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So from here, how was that to go through that? How did it feel to kind of write these out in this way? Was that helpful? Yeah. Okay, good. I'd love to hear. I know we're kind of like bringing this phase to an end. You know, we do still have the chat. So if you are using this and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what happened, you can feel free to still use that chat and let us know, you know, how it's working for you. And yeah, any other resources like you just mentioned, Patricia, feel free to put that in the chat. Definitely some practice, right? So with that, I just want to mention, you know, the people who it's working for. Like I mentioned, Jennifer, who's working with me, and you know, left her corporate job to become her full-time hypnotherapy business, and she definitely, you know, had to lean into trust. I helped her develop this cash injection plan, and she just signed her first clients and her first corporate clients too. So I just wanted to kind of bring her to mind just as an example of how, you know, for those of you who are looking at that kind of thing, you know, it's sort of just that evidence of, right? It's the evidence in advance. It's the evidence. Jennifer can be the evidence in advance. So with that, I know I kind of went over, you know, some of you might enjoy the support and the journey. So if you're open to it, let's kind of share with you once more what that can look like. Sound good? Yeah. Okay. So this is this Manifesting Mastery program. We have 12 weeks together, and actually right now you're getting 14 weeks because we are going away in June. And so because we're not meeting, you'll still have access to all the whatever it's called, the classwork. And we are going to do some 369 projects together during that time. So I'll be on chat, but I won't be meeting on our group sessions. So we'll have a couple extra weeks on the end. And it is really helping us to move from this place of limiting beliefs and fears, which I know what it's like to try to do it on my own and just be in my own head around it, versus having support with a group, taking aligned action. And again, that means, you know, helping us to move into this place of more focus, clarity, and trust so we can accelerate. That's why I work with a mastermind, because I definitely accelerate. I've seen myself accelerate much faster with others than by myself. And so, you know, at times I think we kind of run into these buts like, you know, why am I not moving forward? Like I said, it's like, oh, I'm not ready, or I don't have the clarity. I really feel like I've tried to design this in a way that we can kind of solve for a lot of that, just in the sense of having the support with the Facebook group, having the live group coaching calls. And, you know, for those who it's 12 weeks, but I still want support after, you have like lifetime recordings for the sessions that we do. You also have this rapid release visibility session. So if that's one of the things like showing up, being visible, you're going to have help with that. It's really personalized with your vision and your vision map. I know we have different people in there right now, different aspects of where they're at. So you're always going to be able to get help exactly where you are, whether it's with clarity or it's with action steps or some clearing. And I am offering these 14 days when you start of just one-on-one accountability through messaging, so that you really can start to get that momentum going immediately. And you get that accountability like we talked about through our weekly quests, kind of like you've seen us do in our group chat. And then also just having that private group chat where we kind of check in, we celebrate our wins and what we're working on. And right now, if you sign up now, you get 2 extra one-on-one sessions. So you get 3 total. I do have this Awakening Your Intuition program that you get access to. And then you just have access to that community forever, ever. And while this isn't, you know, it's sort of fluid in a sense, and over the 12 weeks, you will, you know, this is kind of like the pathway that everyone receives. And it really is broken down into getting your own clarity, your mission, your vision. As we get our clarity, sometimes the exact thing we need to clear will show up, because now we're like in it. We're like, oh, now I'm on the hook. I said I'm going to do this. So the fear shows up, and that's where we get the clearing, the channel writing, right, for the deep wisdom, the hypnosis. And also, like I've mentioned, these Akashic Records journeys where, again, I find there's like deep wisdom that we just can't get in this prefrontal cortex. And then we're moving into our co-creation. So supporting you and taking your aligned actions. And like we've looked at, you know, it's fluid. So you're going to be, you might be like a super clear and then taking action. And as you take action, a fear comes up. So that's why it's helpful to have 12 weeks together, because during that time, we can catch it in the moment instead of letting it snowball. And then 3 months have gone by and we're still in the same spot. So that's what that looks like. If you have any questions on any of that, bring them my way. If you feel like, you know, you still need a little more clarity, or you feel like you want to go deeper, just, you know, we can have a manifesting session that's free with me and see if we're a good fit, and I can help you kind of see that blind spot and next step. And we don't have any other questions. I have one last quest for you, which is to pop your vision casting. This is like your I am a commitment to pop it into our group chat. And just like we did here, come and celebrate something that you've done for yourself. If you don't do it today, you could do it Monday. Something you've done for yourself personally, for your own clarity, for your big vision. We'd love to celebrate you in there. And I'll stop share there. For some of you, I will see you Monday. Others of you, we still have a one-on-one session coming up because you're a VIP. Does anyone have any other questions? Thoughts? Ideas? Well, I am super grateful that you took the time to come together like this, to spend this time together. And I do have, as I mentioned, I was going to do a little raffle. I have a session. This can be a coaching session. It could be a hypnosis for you that I am going to give away. And I'm going to give it away to those who are here right now. So, you know, between like your participation and being here, I'm going to make sure I put some names on the list who were a part of it, but I'm going to cross some people's names off because they're not here. They don't get to do it. You do. All right. So let's see. Okay. So I'm going to pull, I have already prepped these numbers. I'm going to pull a number here and see who gets a free session. And then I'm going to check the chat. All right. So I have pulled number 7, and number 7 is Sandra. So, Sandra, you win all the things. You win all the things today. Congratulations. Oh, you're on mute right now.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Well, thanks for showing up for yourself this whole week.
Yes, thank you. I'm so happy.
Yay. Me too. Congratulations. You are very welcome. Thank you for being here. You know where to find me. And for those of you who are VIP, we're staying right now for our Q&A. So feel free to stay, hang out. And if you're not, happy Friday. I will see you very soon. Have a great weekend. You are very welcome, Christine. I'm so glad. Happy Friday, Marcia. Oh, we lost Sandra. Bye, April. It might just be you and me, Leslie. It looks like some of our VIPs aren't here, and Sandra left. So, hi.
Hey. We've got, oh, nope, that's it. It is
Yeah, it's just you and me. That's it.
Oh, interesting. Hold on, let me go close the door behind me and run to get my sandwich.
Okay, you got it.
I'll be back in a second.
Yeah.
In that case, I can ask you a personal question then, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
More personal. Um,
Hold on, I
well,
can stop. Hold on, let me stop recording too. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm going to cut this part anyway. It's fine because I put it on YouTube.
okay,
Let's
okay.
edit it. It's okay. Yeah, go ahead. Go. Let's do it.
So no, so what I was thinking was earlier, I had kind of wanted to have you tap in and see if there was anything you saw for me, like intuitively,
Yeah.
but we didn't really do that. I wonder if you could do that right now.
Yeah. Okay. So sometimes it's like it's going to take us on a little journey and we're going to see where it's headed. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So the immediate thing I was seeing, and just bear with me while I get there. All right.
Okay, okay.
So I was seeing immediately like a bear walking through the woods. And I'm not sure, like right now, it's almost like I see the bear is like holding like a little girl's hand, but it's like it's very calm. It's almost like it's almost like a teddy bear. It's almost like not even like a real bear. But I feel like the bear like wants to take you somewhere or show you something. It's like going to like a pot of honey. It's weird. I feel like the pot of honey, it's like there's a bunch of bees swarming around it. So it's like the pot of honey, okay, literally could be dirtied or could be clean. It's like almost like it doesn't matter either way. It's just what you choose for it to be, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's like the sort of like the analogy of the archetype here is like it's trying to show you like it's literally like there's so much in your power for how you choose it to be, right? And so if I were to kind of relate that to some of what you're saying, I think it's sort of showing you how much power you have to, you know, I mean, create some of these things you say you do want in your life. You know what I mean? So, you know, just if I were to go back to when I first saw like your form before you came in here, you know, I forget exactly, maybe like having land or a certain other home or whatnot, right? So yeah, I do feel like there's a sense of, and I'm not sure why the bear would be showing this, but sort of like, I think because it's like saying because you're the woman, like you can do these things, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool. Well, I
Almost like
really want my own forest.
yeah, you want your own forest. Okay, so there's the bear in the forest.
That's
But it's
when
like,
I talk about having land, that's one of the things that I always say is I want my own forest. Like I
yeah,
don't want like a big bunch of whatever land. I want like a bunch of trees. I want a forest that I can go hike in. That is mine.
oh, maybe this is like your spirit guide, like taking you to the forest.
Maybe that's interesting. I've never had a bear come through. I've had deer come through before, but that's interesting. And it's
Yeah.
kind of fun too, the idea that it's a teddy bear and holding a girl's hand. Before I started teaching on Out School, I had some sessions with a woman who had Minnie Mouse coming through. And then
Oh.
and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I ended up like teaching kids, you know, it happened a little bit later, but I was like, oh, like
Mhm.
that child stuff there.
Yeah. So if we were to kind of look at, you know, in terms of like the array of directions, right, that you're taking, and so I sort of was looking at so you see the bear, I see the honey, see it was like really drawing towards like I don't know what the right word is exactly, but there's something I feel like trying to be said around you being a woman and being in like a powerful woman's position to really do whatever the F you want. Like 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 to make the money that you want, for instance, right? Like there is no real barrier to you doing that. I feel like is the message that really wants to come through.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, so I don't know if it ever feels like that or whatever, you know, but it does feel like that. I feel like there's like a real sense of like the more you're leaning into like your joy, like the more that is going to relate to people like flocking towards you, you know,
Mm-hmm.
really just wanting to be around your energy, right? And when it comes to I actually see it's interesting because when I sort of ask around, like, let's say you're working with, like, for example, women or like corporate women, right? I actually see women who are corporate, who maybe are like mid-age, who have teenagers that they're struggling with. And I actually see that, like, it just feels like it's coming through as like a niche or niche for you, maybe, if you wanted to embrace that, because they're like feeling some of the joy that they experienced when their kids were really little. It's harder to feel that now because of the, you know, what happens when they become, what can happen when they become teenagers and the different things they're dealing with. And so I feel like they really could benefit from whatever it might be. I know it's not exactly what we talked about earlier, but like something you may be offering that is just helping them to maybe lean into their joy, or, you know, and possibly even, not that this is necessarily an area you want to be in at all, but lean into like how to, I don't know, how to surrender or even communicate with their teens, or like there may be something that you understand about young adults that they could really benefit from, if that makes sense. Yeah.
It totally does. Yeah, because I spend all my time with teenagers.
Mhm.
Even the kids in my classes, they start around 9 years old, but like I have a lot of them that stick with me, and a lot that are in that sort of 12 to 16 range.
Yeah.
And kids are teenagers and stuff too. So that totally does resonate. And there's so many different things I'm drawn to. Like I talked about one today because it's just at the beginning of a list of many things. And it's sort of like the thing that I've placed, the thing that I've done that I've really like, I'm like, okay, I've done this, I've got this, but I just need to get started and get
Yeah.
moving. But my list is ridiculously long, and I'm like, I gotta focus on something, and sometimes I'm just not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, and I have been pulled a little bit from that, like going, which one do I focus on? And I'm excited about all of them, and I want to focus on all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, so, and you know, that does make good sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there's some things.
Awesome. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Steph. It
You're
was a nice
welcome.
week. I'm surprised nobody else stayed. Maybe nobody else was available to stay today.
Well, I know that, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can see the group, but not everybody showed up today from the VIP. And then Sandra was part of it, but oh, she said she had, I don't know. Maybe people had stuff after. I don't really know. But
Yeah, I have my classes coming up soon, so I didn't have a whole
yeah.
lot of time for today, but
And maybe they feel
but
like they're getting enough in the
yeah.
one-on-one, you know?
All right, cool. I don't know if I had any other questions then. I just was
Okay.
kind of like, oh, I probably talked too much.
No,
More.
I think we got through quite a bit. I have those notes to send to you. Unless I don't even know where my brain is. Or I already sent them to you.
I don't think you did yet.
Okay, yeah, I gotta send those to you. Yeah, I feel like this is an interesting one, that link between like the women and then the teen. You know, I think there's something to that. So yeah, I'll probably get through like phase one and then kind of move into your phase two probably. So
Yeah, at times I've debated about, like, I sometimes see like teen coaches and I'm like, would I want to do that? Like, I spend a
Yeah.
lot of time with them and talking to them and stuff. But yeah, but I'm kind of like, ooh, that's kind of cool. But then I'm like, I don't know. But
Or you could be the coach to the parents who could also get, oh, that's so lovely.
aw, that's very
Oh my
nice.
gosh, is that
It's a
crochet?
rose. Yeah, it's a crocheted rose.
I can see the rose. Yeah, that's
This
incredible.
is my Mother's Day present.
My goodness, did you crochet that? That's incredible.
Yeah, she's really good
Wow,
at it.
so cool. Oh,
All right. Well, yeah, I think I'm good. It was really nice this week. It was kind of fun the way the whole thing came about because like I was I was signing up with Insight Timer and then you reached out to me about cryptocurrency stuff
yeah,
and I think I saw the email or something and I only see like this many of the emails I actually get. So it was
yeah.
really fun
I
doing that this week.
know. Good. I'm
So
so
yeah.
glad it worked out. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good to have you.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Well,
Steph. I'll
you're
let you get
welcome.
on with the rest of your day now.
Yeah. Have a good weekend.
All right, you too.